Hello. So yeah, you know that while I'm deciding to change the way that I do the weather reports, I'm gonna just do them once a week and then probably once a month. Um, yeah, and I don't know. It's really warm today. It's really hot, and I'm thinking a lot about a date I went on and how it was, and the it was like for 9 hours. But anyway, and it was just like I realized, of course, it's very much about class. You know, I mean, I realize this more and more because the way in which we spoke, the way in which we were with each other, and also even what we wore. You know, it was that thing where it just became very obvious that it was about, in a way, not our different skin or our different culture. I mean, those are parts of it too, of course, but that it was primarily, I think, actually underneath about class and about, in essence, he was from the middle class and I'm, in essence, from the working class here in Australia. And so, yeah, it just made me think a lot and what it means, and this idea of romance, and this idea of a relationship, and all of these ideas which, I don't know, you think about as a person, as an adult, and you think, how do I do this? Like, how do I look into this and try to get my way through it? And it's difficult because I think a lot of it is about class, primarily because um, class is holistic. It's your entire being. It's your entire expectations. It's the way you talk. It's the way you walk. It's the way you think. It's the way you dress. It's the way you are. It's fundamental. If you're socialized to a specific class, then that's really that. And then on top of that, though, I guess, and more fundamentally, is of course that it's to do with money. If you don't have if you don't have that much money, or the earning capacity to have that much money, you're fundamentally different, and in a capitalist system, and you're fundamentally outside of the ability to be able to have as many choices, like 10 different choices. You might just have 3, or you might just have 2, or you might just have 1. And I think that breeds into relationships between two people. And I think, I do believe most relationships are between people of the same class, because generally speaking, you don't go outside of your class. You might fall in love with a foreigner or a person from a different race or something, but and that's a different sort of thing to discuss in a way. But in terms of even fundamentally, if they're a different culture or race and also a different class, it's already hard, but it's much harder. Whereas maybe if they were of the same class as you, relative to where you're from and stuff, then I think actually you would probably be able to kind of have the same starting point in terms of your psychology of what a relationship means and what loyalty means and what the expectations and aspirations of an interpersonal dynamic is. I mean, some of my best friends are from the past and right now are from the working class, from the same class as me. They're not necessarily exclusively that, but yeah. But I also have lots of friends who are middle class, simply because I live in a primarily middle class society. So yeah, I was just thinking a lot about that too, and I thought to put this up. I just thought, reminded to myself